If you're trying to get pregnant and are wondering what to eat to improve your fertility, this video is for you. It's well known that your diet can affect your hormones, your fertility, and your overall health, both positively and negatively. So other than the typical avoid processed foods and eat healthy food advice, in this video, I'm going to share the 10 foods that will boost your fertility naturally. If you're new here, welcome to Fertility TV. I'm Dr. Sklar, also known as the fertility expert, and I'm here to help you understand your fertility and take the next steps towards starting your family. Over the last 21 years that I've been a natural fertility expert, I've helped many women just like you, and I'm excited to share what I've learned over that time with all of you now. Before we get started with today's episode, I did create this free guide called the Fertility Foods Guide, where you get a fertility approved shopping list by me and some recipes that can help you get started. I'm going to leave the link in the description below so that you can download it for free. All right, let's get started. There are many good foods and important foods that you can be eating to improve your overall health and your fertility. I want to address 10 specific ones that I want to make sure that you're incorporating into your diet on a regular basis because they're important for various reasons, and I'm going to dive into them right now. So the first one is wild caught salmon. Not just any salmon, especially not farm raised salmon, but wild caught salmon. If you see on a menu or on the list that it says farm raised, then that's not what we want. If you see that it says Atlantic salmon, that is synonymous with farm raised. So it's really important that we get wild. The benefits that I'm going to tell you about are specifically in wild caught salmon. Okay, so salmon overall and wild-caught salmon are very high and rich in omega-3 fatty acids, and these help to reduce inflammation. If you've heard me talk before about inflammation, I've talked about it many times, we want to make sure we don't have a lot of it. This is one of the big things that can help to do that. It also can help, the essential fatty acids, can also help with embryo quality and egg quality. So we want to make sure that we're having that on a regular basis. The same thing is true as it can help promote good blood flow to the reproductive organs. So the number one and first food that I want to make sure that you are eating is wild caught salmon. Number two is eggs. That's right. Eggs are like a superfood. And in many cultures, eating eggs helps to improve eggs in your ovaries. Right there, it's this synonymous thing, right? We want to make sure treat like with like, and this is no different. So we want to make sure that we are eating eggs and all the egg, both the yolk and the white, to help improve our fertility. Now, specifically, I'm looking for pasture raised eggs. These are the chickens that get to roam freely on the pasture, and they get to eat however they want naturally versus being kept up in a coop and being fed specific things. So we want pasture raised eggs. They are a little bit more expensive at the grocery store, but if you raise your own chickens, then that also will work. Now, chicken eggs are high in choline, which is really important for fetal brain development. It's also valuable for egg quality. Eggs, chicken eggs in this case, but the same goes with all eggs, are also packed with vitamin D. And vitamin D is really important for balancing hormones. And for all of you who hear this keyword AMH, it helps support normal, healthy AMH levels. We do see a correlation between lower vitamin D levels and lower AMH levels, and eating eggs can make sure that you're getting healthy, proper dose of vitamin D and as such, supporting your AMH levels. By the way, you might need some extra vitamin D anyway, beyond that, but this helps to make sure that you're getting that in your diet on a regular basis. The next food or food group in this situation that I want to see you incorporate into your diet are leafy greens, spinach, kale, Swiss chard, broccoli, that family of greens, okay? Now, I do want to be clear about this. I want to make sure that they are lightly cooked, not raw. I prefer that these are not raw because raw cruciferous vegetables, which is what these are, can negatively impact your thyroid. So you want to make sure that you are lightly steaming them or lightly sauteing them into your diet. Now, I talk about eating leafy greens all the time. I love leafy greens. I think they're super important for us for many, many reasons. Fiber is one of those reasons, but the other reason is that they are loaded with folate. That's right. Many of you talk about having folic acid in your diet. This is where you're going to get it. You're going to get it from the folate. And folate helps to support egg and sperm health. So that's really, really important. Another key nutrient that you're going to find in leafy greens is magnesium. I don't know if you've heard the benefits of magnesium, but it's profound and is important for all sorts of bodily functions and system functions. And so magnesium is really essential for regulating hormones and also is a key nutrient to support our fertility. So you want to make sure that you're getting your leafy greens on a regular basis in your diet. I promise you, from seeing so many diets over the years, most of you are not doing that. My next food that I want to see you incorporate, it's one of my superfoods. I love it. I've got 2 trees that I'm trying to nurture and bring about more of them because we eat so many in my household, is avocados. That's right. Avocados are full of monounsaturated fats, healthy fats, which are vital for hormone production. And avocados are high in vitamin E, which can improve uterine lining, which is also important. Vitamin E is also good for your immune system as well. So really super food. We want to have that into our diets as much as we can. Most of you aren't getting enough fat, so that's where the salmon comes in, that's where the avocados come in. They will really help to enhance the fat that you need in your diet on a regular basis. Another item, food item, that will also help to improve many things, one of them is adding more fat to your diet, are nuts and seeds. So this is walnuts, these are flax seeds, these are pumpkin seeds, these are Brazil nuts, almonds, hazelnuts. Like, I love all of those, and I think they're really, really valuable, both for men and women. By the way, avocados as well, leafy greens as well, for both male and female fertility are really important. Walnuts are important for omega-3s as well, which help to improve sperm motility and sperm health, so we want to add that in. Pumpkin seeds are rich in zinc, and zinc is critical for ovulation and testosterone production and healthy sperm production. Brazil nuts are high in selenium. Selenium is really important for both thyroid function and ovarian health and sperm health. So we want to add these in to our diets as much as we can. I do find they're a little bit more important for male fertility than they are for female fertility, but I want to see you incorporate that either way. All right, the next, I'm going to call it a food group because we often refer to them as a food group, are berries. All types of berries. Blueberries and strawberries are the most common. Blackberries are great. All the different types of berries are super high in antioxidants. Antioxidants help to combat oxidative stress, which means when your cells are impacted negatively by toxins and the environment and poor sleep and poor diet and all those things, your cells are impacted negatively with oxidative stress. We want to combat that with antioxidants. The antioxidants will help protect your eggs and the sperm, both improving egg quality and sperm quality. And these are something that it's very easy to incorporate into our diet. They help support overall cellular health. We've talked about cellular health in previous videos because that's what helps to reverse the aging process, and antioxidants and berries in this case are part of that process. So I want to see you incorporate those as much as you can. You can add them to smoothies. You could just have a bowl of them as a snack. However you're able to incorporate them, I think these would be super valuable. Again, they are considered a super food. All right, whole grains. Now, many of you might be saying, well, I've heard you say we need to avoid or have lower carbs, and I've heard you say that we need to be gluten-free potentially. Yes, gluten-free is a grain, but I'm talking about whole grains like quinoa, oats, brown rice. These are okay for you to incorporate into your diet. And we do need some carbs, and we need some healthy carbs. They help to stabilize your blood sugar, which is essential for maintaining healthy hormone balance. Blood sugar, having healthy blood sugar also will help to reduce inflammation, so that's really important. And these do provide a variety of B vitamins, so kind of like a B complex vitamin, but not exactly, which is also really important for reproductive health. So I want to see you add those into your diet as well in a balanced, moderate way. Let's not overdo it with any one of those things. We want to see more protein, we want to see more fat, kind of like a small, moderate amount of whole grains. I get a question all the time about, is it okay for me to have dairy products? So that's a mixed bag. My next food that I want to see you incorporate is full fat organic dairy. Now, this is not for everybody, okay? This is for many of you, but some of you who may be sensitive to dairy products might have an overgrowth of yeast or candida. We want to steer away from these things. So we want to be mindful of that. Whole milk, full fat organic dairy is essential, even better if it's organic and pasture raised. We talked about vitamin D before. Your dairy products will have a nice amount of vitamin D, calcium. Both of these are essential for ovarian health. They have other nutrients as well. And I want to see you add these in, but again, in a moderate way. Like we talked about whole grains, it's fine to have them. I don't want to see you go hog wild and just have all sorts of dairy products wherever. I prefer that it's controlled and managed by you. So I want to make sure that you're doing this at home, maybe not out because you don't know what sort of dairy products those are. So maybe like dairy-free out of your house, but you can have it at home because you've found the right products to, and dairy to consume at home. The next item are legumes. If you're not familiar with the word legumes, these are typically beans. Lentils, black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, my favorite. Chickpeas and lentils are my favorite, so I often talk about those. These are also very high in vegetarian plant-based diet. Culturally, like Indian diets are very high in legumes as well. These are nice plant-based protein, a way to get protein from a plant-based vegetarian source. So that's really important. We need plenty of protein in our diet. Most of us are not getting enough, and I want to see you getting at least 90 grams of protein into your diet. This is essential for improving your fertility, and I want to make sure that you're doing that. They're also packed with iron, which is also super important for healthy ovulation, also super important for recovering from menstruation because you're bleeding and losing some blood during the time, so we want to replenish that. So I do want to see you add in some legumes wherever possible, especially if you lean towards a plant-based vegetarian diet, then we need to have that in there as a big part of your diet. The last one that I have, and I do have some final thoughts on this as well, is potentially everyone's favorite. It's one of my favorites, is dark chocolate. We're looking for 70% cacao or higher. That's right. They contain L-arginine, which helps with blood circulation. It helps blood flow, and in this case, hopefully blood flow to the reproductive organs, both male and female. And they're rich in antioxidants. We talked about antioxidants before when we talked about berries and how important they are to combat oxidative stress. This is no different, both for male and female fertility. But again, I tend to think of this a little bit more with sperm health. Now, I do want to mention that even though I've talked about all of these foods, they might not be appropriate for all of you. All of them might not be appropriate for everybody because some of you might have sensitivities to it. You might have other health conditions that don't allow you or shouldn't allow you to have those things. So I want to make sure that you're thinking about that as you are choosing which ones of these foods that you want to incorporate. Also, from like a functional medicine perspective, so some insights from functional medicine is combining these foods with a customized, personalized plan to address your unique health issues, your underlying root issues, your lab work, how your lab work presents is going to be even more appropriate for all of you. And that's really an ideal situation that we want to see. Focusing on the quality of the food that you're getting. So not just all of these different types of foods, but making sure that they're organic, hormone-free, minimally processed, wild wherever possible, so you can avoid all the chemicals and toxins that will absolutely disrupt your fertility is also super important. Please pair these foods with appropriate lifestyle changes like stress management, good quality sleep, regular exercise. All of that will make everything you're doing with your diet even more important. And start incorporating these foods that I just mentioned one at a time. Baby steps. Small steps to accomplish the bigger goal is super, super important. So maybe just say you're going to add one food item that we discussed every week until they're all in a regular routine way. And that's the way that I would approach something like this, is taking baby steps so that it's not only doable, but something that's easy for you to maintain in the long term. To keep learning more about your fertility, then keep watching this next video, Natural Fertility Tips to Get Pregnant. I'll leave that link below. And if you want my help and want me as your fertility coach, remember to apply to qualify for the Hope Fertility Coaching Program using the link in the description below. Until the next video, stay fertile.